Right, here we are for the final, hopefully the final video of the video game villain bosses tier list. I did go back. I missed one game that I definitely needed to have in there. I also double checked another game that I've talked about, two other games. So I've got a few extra villains I do need to get in here, and then we'll go from the bottom up to rank order and tier list all the characters. So first, Batman. I mentioned a couple of villains that are kind of side villains. They're not like main guys. Victor Zaz is a side character where I think I want to say it's Arkham City, where he's got like phone calls you pick up or something, and you slowly catch him as he's murdering people. But I thought he was cool enough. It was a fun little side character there. And then another one you don't actually fight or anything, but he is a villain and he's already in prison, and you talk to him as Calendar Man. Kind of a cool take on Calendar Man. He's got the tattoos on his head and writing on the wall, etc. I think in his prison cell. He didn't really do much, so I'll just say he was okay, but he was in there, so I'll call him okay. The next game I've mentioned quite a bit of is Smash Brothers and Super Smash Brothers, especially the version that's on the Switch. I played 64 as well. But this version has a couple of key villains from other games that I don't or haven't played, but they're villains that I know of. And then the game actually has its own villains. I not forgot that, but kind of had to remember what the whole plot was. So the first one is the Donkey Kong universe characters, and I think he was the only villain in there from the Donkey Kong universe. But King K. Rool, he is sometimes donning a pirate hat, I think, in the game, and has a cannon, and he's pretty formidable. But I think he's one of the main antagonists in like Donkey Kong, maybe Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong 64, those. And I think he's pretty funny, pretty cool character. I will have him up toward the barely not awesome category. And then we have from the Kirby universe, King Dedede. I think he's got a hammer. It's a penguin. You don't often see penguin villains. They tend to be cute and not villainy. But he's fun enough in the game. I will have him as cool enough. I'm sure if I played like the Kirby games and everything, he would be a more important character. But those were the couple that I just like right off the bat recognized from being in other stuff. I'm sure there's some side villain characters in Smash Brothers that I just don't have on here. Okay, now in terms of like overarching villains in the games, Master Hand is the one, especially the one I think I remember from 64. Might have been in the new one too, but he is the giant hand, and he'll like either form a gun or flick you or do whatever or slap you off the screen, fly up and like drill down into you. I thought he's pretty cool. It's like a kind of neat concept, totally different. And I will have him in the barely not awesome category, which is kind of neat. Okay, these guys, I'm going to get their names wrong. I think this is Galeem and Darkon. So they are two sides of the coin. One is the side of light, one is the side of dark, but it doesn't really matter that it's light and dark. They're like fighting this back and forth battle of will, and you're like trying to keep it somewhat even and then push it maybe one way or the other. I don't remember exactly, but both are kind of villainous. They're selfish, doing it for their own purpose, and you're not really rooting for either one. But they are kind of cool. They're a little different, being just what I don't even know, amorphous. they just float around with their different shapes. But I'll have them both up there, and I would say Galeem's a little cooler. This one, the other one, Darkon, looks like the Gloom Hands from Zelda, so maybe they got that from there. I don't know. Okay, last is Star Fox. I forgot Star Fox 64. I was like looking through the list. I'm like, I'm missing somebody, and then looked at Smash Brothers, and Wolf is in Smash Brothers. So I was like, there you go. So I'm sure there's another game or two that I'm totally blanking on, but here are the folks from Star Fox. So you've got Andross here, who's the leader. He's ahead at the end. You've got these three guys who I remember being in a group together. There might have been one or two others, and then there's some guys who are like driving vehicles, but I don't remember them a whole lot. These three I specifically remember. So you have Wolf, you've got is it Pigma, and then Leon, the three that are the flying the R wings against you as you head toward Andros. So I'll go ahead and do these guys first. So Leon was pretty memorable. I'll have him as cool enough. He's just a little snarky. Pigma, also cool enough. Like snorted whenever he talked to you and was, sarcastic and mocking you. And then Wolf. Wolf is kind of a bad dude, and he looks, he's like the bizarro fox. And I like Wolf. I think he's awesome. So I'm going to have him up there. And then Andros. So Andros is the giant head you fight at the end and fly around, and you got to dodge him. He tries to suck you in and shoot you out. So Andros is pretty cool. He's not like my all-time favorite, but he's pretty awesome. I like he's mean. He's like a legit mean guy. Okay, with that, we will get started on the ranking part, which can take some time, but we shouldn't be here. Let me see. We've got about 300 and a lot, so it could take a little bit of time, but we'll see. All right, so the not goods. All right, and I'm not going to remember all these names either. I'll probably blank on some because I'm not in order on the list anymore. But I'm going to move Plant Man. This cockatool teal whatever is annoying looking. I'm going to move him down. I will move up from Zelda. Centaur Man, Plant Man, Blizzard Man. Blizzard Man will move up a little bit. Dog. Hugo Strange. It's fine. And man, Hugo Strange is just kind of lame. He's not good. He's just it's kind of a lame ending to that game compared to what I want. So I have about 6 down there. That's fair. All right. Chronica, Top Man, Tomahawk Man, Iceman. Bright Man I will drop down. I think he's pretty dumb. I will move up the monster from Jabu Jabu's belly. It's a little bit more interesting. So Hard Man, Heat Man, Ice Man, Top Man. Chronica's a little cooler than all those guys. King Dodongo's a little cooler than these guys. And then Hugo Strange is probably the same. So Hard Man, Heat Man, Ice Man, Tomahawk Man. I'd maybe move Hard Man below here and have Ice Man. Whoops. And have Ice Man above. No, I'd have Heat Man above Ice Man and Hard Man above Ice Man. Yeah. Okay. Good there. Okay, the don't remember much will be more just based off of instinct of like how much I think they were kind of probably cool. And then also, I will say this. So I did double check on The Witcher. These are like the generals that you fight. They look generic because they're all wearing the same armor. If they had their face plates off, I'd probably recognize them a little bit more. I was like, oh yeah, they have those on. But there's really, one of them is more like not a general, but like a high level guy. And then the one I do remember is a general, and then this other one's a general. So anyway. All right. This blob thing, I just don't even really recognize. I should have probably looked that up. Maybe it's just a bad picture. Captain Zorax, I remember enough to put in okay. I went and looked at that one. He's okay. All right. Other than that, now that I have okay, some of these guys are okay. Flame Man and Wind Man, I remember enough. But that's probably good. Okay, some that I think are cooler. Okay, this dude from Zelda is cooler. I'm going to move him up. This guy from Diddy Kong or from Banjo is not my favorite. This dude from Zelda is not my favorite either, so I'll leave him down there. These guys were a little cooler, so I'm going to move them up from The Witcher. This other one I don't remember too much. These Mortal Kombat characters, Metroid, this one was probably a little cooler from what I recall. And that was okay. Mass Effect character, good. Brutals. Crab guy can move down. Just kind of generic. Okay, police officer moves up. He was funny at least. The DJ a little bit. This was it Horace? Get those names mixed up on those AI things, like I said, but I do think it's pretty menacing and cool. Those guys were kind of generic. I'd put some of these guys over from Horizon. I'd put the Luigi people above. Painter guys. This dude, I'm sure I have a bad picture of. I think he kind of unfurls and you fight him in Diablo, but I can't remember him. This one, I don't remember if it was Grom or something like that, but I think he's kind of cool. Two-Face. Okay, that's pretty close. Now let's go through it. Crab, boom, boom. Okay, fine. I'll probably put him above him. Shadow of the Colossus, a little bit cooler. Those are always cool. Okay, Triborg, Tremor. Triborg at least looks kind of cool, like compared to those guys. Tremor's a little duplicative. Tanya was a more interesting character. She had stuff to do. I don't remember her much. Metroid, gonna be better. Brutal. Yeah, we can move. I think this is Lenny. I always get those mixed up. Like I said, it could be Larry. It's Larry. Now that I say it, that's Larry. I'll split up those guys, and then Asmodan maybe is probably up here. Fine. Two-Face. Don't remember him doing much. He's a cool character, but I don't remember him doing much. I would, though, move him back down here. Red Hood. Witcher guy down here. Ra's al Ghul, Poison Ivy. I like Ra's a little bit more. Black Mask I didn't remember as much. So don't want to spend too much time. I spent enough time on that. Okay, here's where, yes, literally, okay. This is where we're going to have some move because I've created okay late. Like Hydra dude is okay. He's not great. So I'm going to start in the top of cool and just make sure some are okay. Diablo. Okay, Mole Rat's okay. Mole dude from Earthbound. Bomb Man's okay. I need to split up some of these. Mega Man. There's a lot of Mega Man here. Ring Man is one I'd have as okay. Cut Man. I hate to say it. Some people love him. Toad Man I'll move to okay. Gyro Man I'd move to okay. All right, that's close enough for now. We'll move more as we get through it. And then the Griffin, the Wolf. Most of these I had already. Okay, it was already down there. Okay. Again, literally. So, in the okays, I think It's not too far off to start. So Metalhead was a little more interesting. I remember his fight where you got to like hit his missiles back at him. There was at least something to that. So I'd move him up above some of these other ones. Ground Chuck I didn't like as much as the Tempestra fight. I liked the Tempestra fight more than that. Bebop. Okay. Calendar Man can drop because you don't really use him that much. These guys in order. So you have Wind Man, Flame Man, Bomb Man. Okay, I'd have Flame Man above them. I'd have Wind Man above Bomb Man, Ring Man above Bomb Man, Cut Man, below Bomb Man, Toad Man. I'd have Toad Man above Cut Man. I just think he's kind of fun. And Gyro Man. All right, so Captain Zorax, fine. Ground Chuck. Flame Man I'd have above Captain. Ground Chuck. Not Leatherhead. Bebop, fine. I wish I could remember more about that one. He's pretty cool though. To be fair, I don't remember enough about him. I shouldn't have him up there. I'm gonna put him down here, about right there from Zelda. Okay, the 3 Mortal Kombat people compared to Shadow of the Colossus. So Shadow of the Colossus, I like this one more. He's like the eel guy underneath the water, but he's more interesting than some of the others, more so even than the turtle guy. I like Cabal more than Quan Chi and Sindel more than Quan Chi. These guys are probably fine. Start there, and we might move some more down. So Victor Zsasz, I'd probably move down to be right in there. Yeah. And then we've got some of these Streets of Rage folks. Okay, this one's okay. He's early in the game. He's pretty fun, but he's okay. I'll have him about there. Okay, it's pretty good. Pretty good to start. All right. From the bottom of okay, or I'm sorry, from the bottom of cool enough. Let's see if there's anybody that I just know should shift down because there's a lot. So like some of these Banjo guys will be more toward the middle. Batman, Spider-Man guy's pretty cool. Diablo, Earthbound. Okay, this cool enough guy, I'm gonna move down to okay from Horizon. He's probably like right in there. It's like Eric or something. I can't remember his name. Clem. Okay, Brutal Top Hat Dude is okay. Let's have him below some of these guys. Below Cutman. Yeah, there's the other Witcher guy I was talking about earlier. All right, Waluigi, I'm going to move up. I like him. Ludwig, I'm going to move up. King Bob-omb, I'm going to move up. I love some of those Mario ones. Solomon Grundy, Barely Not Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Looking at least relatively close, and then we'll go from the bottom up. Okay, Barely Not Awesome. I think these guys are a little more interesting than some of them. I can move some of the Pac-Man ones down. They're more nostalgic, but I will order them based off the ones that I liked the most. Color. Then trying to think if there's any specific that are not as memorable for me. Mother Brain, I'm going to move up a bit. I thought about that battle a tad more. It was pretty darn weird. And I liked it. Songbird. I can move Mother, the Mother from Bioshock down. Comstock. Somewhere around there. Atlas. Again, the character's cool. The boss fight's just not my favorite. So I'll get that down. I keep saying I'm going to start at the bottom and then I go back up and start moving stuff again. Bale, Duriel, Mechanist. Gets hard. This is about the area that it gets hard because there's not a whole lot above. Okay, let's think about Mega Man. Mega Man's always a good place because there's a few of them. So Airman, Crashman, I can move down a little bit. I'll have him in the okay category towards the top. And I should have looked at some of these too. Here. Vulture's fine. Firefly's fine. Scorpion I'd have above Deadshot. Deadshot I'm going to move down around the Skeleton King. I move Isuel of Mad Hatter, above Mad Hatter, I guess. Penguin above both of them. Tombstone down a little bit. He's not terrible for sure. Scorpion, Bane. I'll move Bane down a little bit. Scorpion was probably a little cooler than Crashman. Voltran, Dariel. I like the Butcher a little bit more. Not as I'm going to split Frank and Frankenstein, or Frankenstein Robot, whatever that is. Clem I like a little bit more. I'm getting in more of a groove, knowing where everybody is now. Ermac I like a bit more in the cool section. Let me see. I'm going to put him up here. Electro I'm going to move up a bit and put him up right below Shepherd Clone. Chargeman I'll move down a bit below the line. He's probably like okay, and he's probably let's have him right below. Well, no, you know what? I think I like Flame more than Chargeman. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'll have him right around Leatherhead. Crystal Man, yeah, move him down. He's going to be a little above Chargeman. I like that Leatherhead fight more than those. Okay, we have... trying to think if there are any I'd like move up a little bit here. Skullman I think is kind of cooler than some of these. I'll have him above the Brutal Girl. The Mama Brutal I don't like as much as her. A little more interesting than I'll have her below Nipper. Sparkman I'll have above her. I like Woodman a little bit more than some of these. Move him up. A little more than Drill, a little more than Dive. Probably more than Bubble. So that's fine. Butcher I moved. It's more interesting than some of these. The Queen, she's more okay. I'll have her down here. It's better fight than some of these though. Probably have Morton above Lenny. And Fry Guy, I think is his name, can go down a little bit. Fry Guy, we will have We'll split up some of the Megamans there. King Thwomp can move up a tad. Professor Pig is an interesting fight, but I don't know that he's like super great. I'll have him a little lower. Mad Hatter's pretty interesting. Okay, Wiggler, move him down a little bit. Wart, move him a little below. Below Electro. Electro can, yeah, that's fine. It's close. All right, back up to the Barely Not Awesome. Gonna split up some of these Streets of Rage folks. So she is pretty cool. He's not as memorable. I'm gonna move him down a bit. Wingnut's a pretty cool fight. I'm gonna move him up a bit. Master Hand up a bit. Okay, Noob Saibot's a little bit lower than them. Chinook is a lot a bit lower comparatively. I'll have him below the Pac-Man guys. How about it? Does anybody need to be up toward the top? That's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't think so. I mean, Twin, is it Twin Mold? I can't remember his full name. And Queen Gibdo were pretty cool comparatively. Yeah, I need to move some of these Zelda ones up a bit. Fire, Dragon. And I can move Octopus Dude down a little. Just about the right spot. Baxter Stockman, I like his fight in between those two. And then this fight was a little more fun. That guy doesn't have personality, that's the problem, but he's pretty cool fight in Zelda. Reptile I like a little bit more. Baraka a tad bit more. Melina a little lower. Zangief a little higher. So got a little higher. Vega a tad higher. Then Fireman a little higher. Gemini Man a little lower. Nightman a tad lower. Flashman a little higher. Snake Man a little lower. Fairman a little higher. That helps with some of the Mega Man splitting. Maybe a little on the Batman here. Riddler's a little lower. He just had a little less to do. Solomon Grundy was one of my favorite fights. Right below Clayface. Killer Croc was creepy. Have him a little below Mother Brain, maybe. Keeping what Bruce the Shark. He freaking terrifies me. I kind of like the Duriel fight more than Bale. And the Ancients, I can put down a little bit. Sean doesn't do a whole lot. Dude that kidnapped him is less important. Swan's a little cooler. She's a little less than Cyrus or Silas. Where did he go? Silas. These Luigi guys, I love the director. I think he's cool. Amadeus is fun. King, I can move down a bit. And Caveman Ugg is about right there. Pokey, I can move down a tad. Whoops. It's always a disaster when I right click on accident. I know Queen Gibdo's much more terrifying to me than I have her down for. All right, Malthael. This is Mephisto, I think. I'd have him a little lower. And then, where did we go? Oh, Zoltan. Zoltan, cool. Probably have him below Mephisto as well. And say below, like Noob Saibot. No, I like his personality more. I'd have that dude above here. Okay, that's feeling better. I feel like we're getting closer. Mechanist is fun. Is it Hades? Swan, Mother Brain, Dr. Octopus, Phantom Ganon. Okay, let's add Dr. Octopus a little higher. I thought he was pretty cool. I'm gonna put Mother Brain in the middle there. I think Mother Brain's pretty fun. All right, let's go up to the awesome category. I'll probably do a quick run through before I finalize everything since we have some time, but got to be a little bit more thoughtful on these as well. So anything I need to move glaring to start. Ooh, these are tougher. You start reading them or seeing them, and it's like, man, this is rough. Okay, these are the dragons from Dragon Age. I'm actually going to move them down to be below Solomon Grundy. If I played more recently, I might change my mind. All right, Father Comstock is a cool twist. These Bioshock characters are cool twists, but I don't know that they are like the best of the best because you don't really fight them all that much. Sanders, I'm going to have him right below Comstock. Comstock's he's better than I give him credit for because I kind of forget some of the cutscenes and things or parts of the game that he's in toward the end. Because he is pretty cool. In an evil way. All right. Witcher final boss. Andros, I'd move up. I'll move him up a little bit. Majora. All right, Phalanx, like he doesn't have personality, so I'm going to move him down. And similarly with, I can't remember this one's name with the sword, but I like Phalanx more. I always forget the Shadow of the Colossus names. Again, they sound like kaiju, and I never remember all the names. Krang was not as good a fight as some of the others, and I don't think he's as interesting, so I'm going to take him down a little bit. Rat King was a better fight. Chrome Dome was a better fight. I like Wolf more than those. Phantom Ganon. This Phantom Ganon's creepy as heck. It's just fine. The moon is creepy as heck. Oh man, these are tough. Shao Kahn. Jeez. Good characters. All right, Shadow Man I can move down. Mega Man, Shadow Man. Let's see. Quick Man. Let's move Quick Man down to right below Wolf. Metal Man right above Wolf. Guts Man a little lower because his level wasn't all that great. I'm going to have him below. Yeah, I'll have him down here. Donkey Kong, again, not often a villain enough. Classic, certainly, but I'm going to have him toward the bottom there. I'll have him above those guys. Black Man, I can move down. He would be. Yeah, he'd be down here. I think I'd have him right below Donkey Kong as well. All right, these guys are classic and cool. Cool. Not as much personality here. It's an awesome fight. It's kind of like Phalanx. I like the fight more than Phalanx. I can't remember that. Horus, maybe. It's a cool fight. The moon. Menacing. If you fought it, it might be even higher. Shora. Dark Link. Kerrigan. Oof. All right. Mortal Kombat ones. Kano would be the least of them of the four. Shang Tsung would probably. Goro's so like unique and cool. I have to think about that one. I'm not convinced. Okay, I feel pretty good up through Phantom Ganon. I will take the moon down a little bit because you just don't deal with it to be. Let's have it like right. No, see, the more I keep down. Okay, Wolf. I just have it below Phantom Ganon. All right, Majora. Dark Link. I love Dark Link. Looks cool. Super cool. Kerrigan when she's mean. It's a little tough with Kerrigan because you don't, it's StarCraft, you don't fight the characters, you're in vehicles, etc. But they do have personality, they do talk, so you do get to see who they are, which is sweet. Kano, I would have, let's just put Kano below Wolf. Yeah. And then Shao Kahn below Phantom Ganon. Shang Tsung. You know, I just, in the games, I don't like Shang Tsung as much as Shao Kahn. But he's still awesome. It's right there with him. Then we have Goro. Super intimidating. Super cool looking. Doesn't have as much personality. I have him below. Okay, he's probably a step below in my mind. These guys just have so much depth, more depth to them than he does. Sure, a different day I could change my mind. All right, Dark Link, Kerrigan, Ridley, Yellow Devil, Andross. Okay, Andross I'm going to move down a bit. He's like by the moon. And I will have him just above the moon. Yellow Devil similarly can come down a little bit, but he is, because he doesn't have personality. But I'd have him, let's say right below Kano. Saren, the elusive man. What did I do with Kai Lang? Did I have him down, hopefully down here? Yeah, here he is. Okay. That's fine. And then Harbinger. Okay, so Harbinger's my favorite of those. Saren's my second favorite. I'd have Elusive Man below some of these, but he's great. Let's have him right above Andross. Saren, similarly, right above. Okay, so Ridley, Wario, Boo. All right, Harbinger's pretty sweet. Ridley, I'd have above Wario. Wario's again tough. If I played like a game where you're fighting Wario, maybe I'd have Wario like tip top. But he's a cool character. I kind of almost see him as a good guy because of how I play with him. All right, Ridley Harbinger. Oh, King Boo. I still have him above Wario, like right there. I probably have. That's fine. Those are fine. All right, Gygus is so weird, man. It's hard to explain unless you watch the game, play the game. Earthbound, um, just bizarre. I'd have him above Wizpig. I'd have Wizpig. Let's see, Wizpig would be more around. Let's have him in between Goro and Kano. Would be a good Mortal Kombat character. All right, and then Grunhilde, move her down, but she's a good character from Banjo for sure. Grunty. I could have her above Wolf and Metal Man. Maybe around the moon, right there. Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze. Okay, 2 Batman villains, and then we'll be on the top tier here. All right, Scarecrow was creepy, was cool. I can move him down a little bit. Didn't have as much to do as some of these. Maybe right above the moon. Mr. Freeze, also similar around there. Great boss fight, though. Like one of the best. Okay, feel pretty good about that. All right, that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're pretty good to leave those there. And I'm like Shredder's tough because he's got his own persona outside of the game, so I'm not going to like layer that on and say, oh, Shredder's the best because it's Shredder. So most of these should just be what's in the game. Joker, similarly. So Joker, I can move down. Again, these are all freaking great. Robotnik, I can move down a little. I'd have him above Shredder, below Joker. Because Joker's really good in these games by unto itself. Ganon, Bison. I'd move Bison maybe down. Right below Robotnik. Right above Robotnik. Dr. Wily, Bowser, Diablo. So Dr. Wily, I'd have above Dr. Robotnik in terms of his doctoring. Bison, you actually fight hand to hand. Wily, I like a little bit more. More critical to the game than Joker, even. So I'm good there. Ganon, Bowser, Diablo. Okay, Diablo, I am going to move down to I think here. So that leaves me with Bowser, Ganon, Dr. Wily, Joker, etc., etc. Bowser's a classic. He is the Mario villain. He is like the original, to me, video game villain. Stands the test of time. That said, I have Ganon above Bowser. I think Ganon is my like quintessential villain. He is evil, intelligent, comes back, uses different forms, is different in games, fun to play against, and you always believe whatever his sinister plot is. So he's been across many Zelda games and is my favorite. So we'll do a quick run through here, but I think we're good. Nothing to sneeze at if you're in the top 2 sections here. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Then less concerned about some of these as I get farther down. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing egregious where somebody's just sitting out there that doesn't need to be there. Okay. Good. Good. It's fine. All right, and then let's make sure there's nobody that's stuck on the bottom that doesn't need to be stuck on the bottom. Had a few less in the not goods, but that's okay. That's why I took out the fail category. I didn't even have anybody fail. So that does it. There are your top video game enemies of all time, and thanks for watching.